Hey everybody, welcome back to Vlogmas. Check this out. This is my little Charlie Brown TV decoration. I saw this a couple of years ago at Walgreens and I just had to have it. And my wife and my daughter got it for me, which I love, love, love. It's one of my favorite, maybe my favorite Christmas decorations. Anyway, tonight we are going to try to head downtown again, getting to be good at this, and check out the Christkindl Market. Christkindl Market. It's like this German Bavarian market thing, and we're gonna go see if it's too busy or not. Maybe poke our heads in and see what it's all about. And here we have figure skating. All right, the perennial favorite. Can't go wrong with some outdoor figure skating. This is a cool little rink they set up here. Packed as always. Got the little plastic things to help you stand up if you're having a hard time. I'd be using that. Have you guys ever seen these like public scooters? My son does this all the time. Apparently, you like tap your card and you can go cruising around, and then they have like an app that shows you what intersection there's a scooter available, and you just come right up to it and you tap your card. You have to have the app, I think, too. I was got a broken screen. Then you go to it. There, by the way, is the Daniels and Fisher Tower I was talking about earlier. Just beautiful. And this dates back, I think, to about the turn of the century, I think. Pretty cool stuff. Here we are at the Christkindl Market. Pretty cool. Let's check it out.
I can still see some.
Что делаем по команде, Макс? Oh, yeah. Oh, that one. That does definitely match.
Does it?
No, it does. As far as I have now, they kind of fairy tale with mushrooms and stuff.
For the unicorn. Yeah.
Change of plans. That ended up being way more crowded than we thought. So I thought I would begin, and this is going to be like a multi-day process, believe it or not, putting together this gingerbread house. We tried to do this the other day, and then we found out that it's going to be like a multi-day thing. It's going to take hours for it to set and stuff. So I was thinking tonight I could build the foundation. So let's get it all opened up and spread out. So out of the box, we've got the foundation materials for the actual gingerbread house. Now this is a gingerbread lighthouse. And it's a shame, you guys. You make this beautiful thing out of food and candy and you can't even eat it. Although it's kind of funny, they have to put like serving size information on it. So yeah, there's the candy for decoration. We're not going to be doing that tonight. And then 2 bags, at least one has frosting. I'm not sure what the other one has. I'll find out in a minute. These are the 2 bags that you use to serve or to apply the frosting. I'm sure there's a term for that. And there's the tips. There's also a base. So unlike a lot of things I do, I will be reading the instructions on this. So let's go ahead and get started. It says we need to inspect our cookie panels. As with any baking product, it's a big cookie. You know, I just see a giant, beautiful cookie when I see this piece. All decorated. Okay. Anyway, they say we're supposed to check for breaks or irregularities. That is not symmetrical. I wonder how that's going to affect things. And then to use a knife to trim off any rough edges like that. So, okay. So far, so good. Okay, so I got some wax paper down now. This base, somehow I've got to turn all of this junk into that. So this is an intriguing project. I've really always wanted to do one of these, so this will be interesting. Also, after trimming these parts, I learned that where they're scored there, actually I have to snap them apart. So that ought to be interesting. So there's a lot of snapping that needs to happen. So I guess I'll do that first. And it doesn't say how to do it, so based on it's scored from the front, I'm gonna try and snap away from the score. Okay, it was actually easier than I thought. And we'll keep doing that until we get all of these pieces sorted. I probably should have done this before I scrape the edges, now that I think about it. So, okay, was I supposed to do wait a minute. Wait. Let's check this out. It shows these ones separated, doesn't show those ones separated. But where would that go? That has to be for this. I think I did it right, because I think that's for the front there. So I think we're golden. What do you think about this one though? Do you think I should separate that one too? Yeah, I think so, because I think those panels make that. Also, notice how different this side looks than that side. Interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue snapping all of these apart. Hope that I'm doing the right thing. Try not to get too cocky about it. And then we go on to a nice scary step of doing it to the big ones. So, okay, here we go. Oh, okay. All right, that actually worked. They say if something breaks, you can just use more icing as, man, those look delicious. I'm just hungry for dinner. They say you can use more icing as glue if you need to put pieces together. Okay, I'm gonna score the rest of these edges and check back in with you here in a sec. Okay guys, so it says we have to trim off just a tad bit. I think it said about a 1/2 inch, 2 centimeters, actually that'd be 3/4 of an inch, the bottom of these bags. So I'm gonna do that. Hopefully it's not too much. And literally they say you're just supposed to drop the tip. Got graham cracker or gingerbread crumbs everywhere now. Drop the tip into the bag and it's supposed to go part of the way down. Hopefully that's enough. Let's see. Actually, yeah, I mean it works. I'd rather have it be a little tighter than not. Now, which bag do you think we use? So this one says red icing, so I think that's decorative. This one says nothing on that side. What the heck? Is this it? You think this is it? Okay, we're gonna find out. This is tricky. By the way, I had to go with the tripod because there's just no way I'm gonna do this with one hand. So, cut that off. We're committed now, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and squirt some frosting in here, like glue. I said about a 1/2 cup. So let's start with that. And I'm going to try and work it down into the bottom of the bag, like that. Cool. And twist this, I think they said. Cool. Now, getting this started is gonna be a little tricky because what we're gonna do is we're gonna assemble the four panels down here like this. So they said, and I think it's probably a good idea, that you can use some cans, like canned food cans, to help stabilize things. So I'm going to start by putting some can there and that panel. And then they say to overlap it. So we're gonna put some icing glue. No idea what I'm doing. I have really no business doing this. Okay, so I don't know how much is enough, but that looks good. Okay. If you've ever done this before, tell me about it in the comments. I've watched my kids do it, but I've never done it. Okay, does that look good? I mean, I don't want it to like totally bleed over, but I think that is a good amount. Okay, now I'm gonna put it down here. Okay. All right, got some on my fingers, so you know I'm doing something right. And then I'm gonna do it to this panel and work my way around. All right, check back in with you guys here in a minute. You know, I don't really see why we can't just keep going. I'm gonna let that sort of dry up there. Meanwhile, I'm gonna put on these little, what they call lantern windows. So, have you ever been in a real lighthouse? We went to this one in Florida And that's a good spot, yeah. And how many panels are there? I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this. There's 1, 2. Okay, so it's gonna be like a something-a-gon, I don't know. Let's see, hold on. This is where I start improvising is where this falls apart, you guys. Maybe literally. Yeah, there we go. It's not gonna be centered if I do that. Anyway, we went to this one Ponce de Leon lighthouse in Florida, which is really cool. But I'm walking up this thing. It's like the highest lighthouse, I think in Florida, the second largest one in the United States. That was huge, absolutely huge. Anyway, about halfway up this thing, there's this sign on the inside that says, "This is where farmer so-and-so had a heart attack and died." I'm like, oh, isn't that lovely? Did not do anything for my anxiety. So I'm just like, all right, let's go with that. All right. Okay. This is not centered, but you know what, you guys? You don't come to this show for perfection. You come to this show for passion, right? Oh, do I have enough panels? Okay, cool. We're good. So I'm just continuing that. If I did it perfectly, you'd think you were watching Vinylize or something like that. So, for tech mode. Okay, check this out. This is coming along. I don't think we need to take all this time. I think I might just put this bad boy on top tonight. But I am going to let the whole thing dry before we decorate it, because that's the... Wait a minute. My opening here is not going to... Okay, hold on. Okay, that's actually pretty dang good. It is off-centered, but I feel like this is good. Okay, so now the next step is to just put the top cap on, which is a small round. So I'm gonna go for it now, guys. I'm just gonna do this thing right now. And then I'm gonna put the whole thing together. All right. I say rushing things can be a virtue. If they work. Okay. Okay, that's all going together famously. Now, let's go ahead and assemble this on top of the tower, which looks pretty straight. So let's go ahead and do that. And I think I got it pretty much put together. I'm feeling pretty good about this so far. This thing is like way too big. I don't think we need that yet. So yeah, I don't know if I should smooth out the edges, or the more I think about this, I feel like we should smooth out these edges. Maybe it'll help squirt some of that adhesive frosting into the crack there. Let's see, I'm just gonna rotate this. Still a can of food in there, which is kind of weird, but I mean, I feel like it should still be there. Cool. It's still very pliable, very not set. And I guess the frosting sets, kind of like glue or cement. So I'm going to be very gentle. And I had this thought. They tell you to kind of wait 2 hours before you go on to the next step, which I can tell why, because it is very iffy right now. But I got to thinking, what if I just put this thing together in stages? So I think I'm going to try for that. And then once all the stages are set, we can sort of assemble them. So I'm going to see what I can do here, and hopefully it goes well. I even took it off the can, which is kind of precarious, but I feel like it's got the structural integrity that I'm really looking for. So I am going to go to town here and put down a good thick layer of frosting cement. Oh, don't go over the edge, don't go over the edge. When you score the edges of the cookie material, there's a phrase I thought I'd never utter on this channel. When you score the edges, it kind of reveals the porous nature of the cookie, which I think will help in setting this and help it with it absorbing and setting. So here we go. The top round is going on. Good. I feel good about this. Let's zoom out a little bit. I'm going to pull the tripod back. That looks good. You know, we are leaning a little. It is a little leaning, but that's okay, guys. This may become more of an artistic representation of a lighthouse using cookie as my media. So, not sure about that. Okay, the next step, we're not out of the woods by any means, but the next step for me is I'm gonna build this little entrance. So we got the tower, we got the large round, we got the little windows, we got the top. Next is this. So I've had like an interesting time trying to figure out what pieces should go where, because they're very weird shapes. I mean, they're not like complete rectangles. So I think I've got it narrowed down to this. It's kind of what I'm hoping for. We're gonna go with that. So I wonder if I should assemble this and then attach it to the lighthouse, or just kind of go as I go. I think we should just go for it. Now, should this be in the front? Or should that be... No, I think this should be on the sides. I think that should be like that. What does the picture look? The picture's got so much frosting on it, I can't tell what's happening there. Look at this. I can't quite tell what they've covered. The critical junctions that I need to be seeing right now. Look at this, it's ridiculous. They literally did a door made out of no frosting. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna do the best I can, as I always do. I really should stop touching this. It's so soft. Okay. That's interesting. All right. Okay, guys, I think that we've come to a stopping point. I think I need to let this thing set because it's very soft. And I think if I start pressing decorations on, we're really gonna screw things up. So I'm going to maybe add a little bit more glue to the, or some frosting to the side panels and see where we end up here in a little bit. Okay, guys, and how many of you have this? A light up candle thing with spinning glitter and reindeer and Santa Claus and snowflakes and all kinds of cool stuff. It's really cool and beautiful, actually. It lights up the house nicely, and it's pretty unique. And even the candle tip there flickers. And over here we've got kind of where we stand at this stage in our Gingerbread lighthouse project. And I think we got a good foundation. It's got a little bit of a structural issue, maybe a little, I don't know if it's structural, but a little decoration, and we will, this thing will be as good as new. You could move into this thing, and then you could eat it. But anyway, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to decorating that with you guys, see how cool and crazy we can make it look. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. Thank you so much for being there, as always. Happy record hunting, happy Vlogmas, and we will see you tomorrow.